Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to Sandy's Library. I'm Sandy, and I'm back today to do the other half of the flip-throughs. Today we're going to do Messages from Spirit and the Lonely Days and Lonely Nights deck. We're going to do a flip-through of those, and I just want to remind you guys that I do have dogs, so you may hear them walking around, flapping their ears. If they go to sleep, they're prone to snoring. Hopefully they won't bark. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to go ahead and start with Messages from Spirit. And I will read the info card for you. Welcome, Twin Flames. We created these oracle decks for twin flames who are currently in separation with little to no contact. The deck contains 65 special messages from Spirit regarding the twin flame journey. There is no booklet for this deck. The cards speak for themselves and were meant to be used intuitively and in conjunction with other tarot and oracle decks. Just do whatever feels right. It's just some technical mumbo jumbo and stuff up there. Let's just go. And I can't stress enough how important using your intuition is. So, here we go. The trouble with tossing people aside is you never know what you're throwing away with them. When you reside in negative energy, you cannot help your twin grow toward union. And I still have the sniffles, guys. My meds just aren't working for me. Sorry. We will soldier on, though. There is no dishonor in walking away from a 3D connection that isn't serving your highest good. It's the Divine Feminine's job to help the Divine Masculine awaken, but that doesn't mean she has to fix him. For the soul, there is more than one lifetime to accomplish divine goals. Broken dreams are the hardest thing to mend. The ego is hardwired to take the path of least resistance. I'm going to grab a drink of water, guys. The path you're on is divinely ordained. Pray for your twin by sending positive energy and unconditional love. Know what your perfect union looks like and don't accept anything less from your twin. This is one of my favorites from them. Yes, most definitely. To let go is to grow. Sometimes a soulmate is the better option. And let me just suffice it to say, I do feel the need to clear this one up. My guides and I, we view twin flames and soulmates as two entirely different things. One is not better than the other. They're just different. Okay, the Divine Masculine will never be free of his demons until the Divine Feminine faces her fears. Allow your guides to soothe your soul and ease your pain. Okay, and I feel the need to reiterate on this again. You know, if you want to believe that twin flames and soulmates are the same thing, you're free to believe that. But it does help you if you understand that we don't believe that, then this card will make better sense for you. Allow your guides to... Okay, I just did that one. Sorry. You might as well give in and let fate take the lead it's going to anyway. One day, your divine partner will wake up. You'd better be ready. And that said, divine partner, twin flame, interchangeable terms. Same thing. Denying your heart's desire is sometimes easier than worrying about it. No journey would be too far for the divine masculine who's ready for union with his divine feminine. Divine timing is not on a schedule, yet no union happens before its time. Guys, I can see a black and red, it's mostly black butterfly flying around one of my rose bushes out the window here. It's kind of tripping me out. I've never seen a black and red butterfly out here on the West Coast. True love never dies. True love sets everything on fire. Love comes to you in many forms. It's the soul's job to experience them all. You fall by chance. You stay by choice. The bond between twin flames is like a moving sea between the shores of their souls. To love someone unconditionally requires vulnerability. Has anybody ever seen a mostly black, just a little bit of red, like some stripes around the edges and a couple of spots inside? It's just, I've never seen a butterfly like that. Anybody seen a butterfly like that? It's black and red. It's not the journey's end that counts, it's the ride. When you can give without expecting in return, then you're ready to help your twin awaken. Sometimes, if you're lucky, this magical journey will lead you into the edge of imagination where hope intersects with what if. There are 2 messages inside this deck that come from these 2 books. And this is the message that comes from If I Married You. This message is not in the deck, If I Married You, but it comes from the book. And I will let you know when we get to the one from Crazy for You. Your divine masculine should be the guy who ruins your lipstick, not your mascara. True story. Whatever souls are made of, you and your twin are the same. It's very true. Ask love no questions, and it will tell you no lies. And I just want to go back to this one for 1 second. Whatever souls are made of, you and your twin are the same. I just feel the need to put it out there that the only thing about the twin flame concept that we don't agree with is that we are one soul split in two. We don't buy that. We don't believe that. We believe that we are made of the same thing, as in the same energy signature. And we're the only two souls who have that particular signature. Every twin flame pair has their own energy signature. Nobody else has that energy signature. So that is what makes you twins for us. But that said, you can believe whatever you want, but it may help you to understand what resonates with myself and my guides to understand the readings that I'm going to start doing for you guys on October 10th. Ask love no questions and it will tell you no lies. Love is all around and in reach of every hand. Twin flames are connected on the soul level via the heart. So it doesn't matter what they do or how far away they go. They'll always be haunted by the other. Sounds like my neighbor's bringing out his Harley. Wish for them to be happy, even when you know you're not going to be part of that happiness. Being loved deeply by someone will feed your ego, while loving someone deeply will feed your soul. I'm going to get a drink, guys. Falling in love happens quickly. Forgetting takes forever. I just want to take a second to show you guys this beautiful artwork over here. Moonchild's responsible for the artwork. The background. Sara's Tarot's responsible for the concept, layout, and design. My guides, well, I was like a conduit for them. They told me what to put in this deck and this deck, and so I did. And that's how I piggybacked ownership. The purpose of this journey is to love and to be loved in return. Sometimes the separation itself is the lesson. Yeah, I know we don't like to hear that, but sometimes holding onto a torch for too long will only get you burned. I can't reiterate this enough. It takes two to tango. Unconditional love is the highest vibration of all. What you have experienced and what you need to experience are oftentimes two very different things. If your intentions are good and your heart is pure, then you have nothing to worry about. I'm trying to keep the glare off of that so you guys can see it. I hope you can see that. The most effective growth is done from the inside out. Don't go through life, grow through life. Every step on the spiritual path leads us into the unknown. The trick is not to be afraid to take each step. The universe will provide what you need for your spiritual path. Earth School was never meant to be easy. You'll have to fight through some bad days before you can earn the good ones. People may forget your words, but they will always remember the vibes you gave off. If you want to experience the light of love, you have to stand where it's shining. This journey is not a picnic. It's a struggle. Accept it. You can't force your twin to grasp a message they're not ready to receive. Both love and longing will sail into the harbor, but it's your harbor. You get to decide which one stays and which one goes. What you seek is already inside you. Be quiet and listen. Sometimes spiritual growth happens so slowly that you aren't always aware it's happening. Opportunities will pass you by in the blink of an eye, but regret will last forever. Forever. To truly awaken is to both satisfy and enlighten your soul. Until you change your thinking, you will always recycle your experiences. Don't play hard to get, play hard to forget. Your life will be filled with many chapters. Don't get lost in the one you're in now. Okay, and so this one is attributed to that guy, Rumi. So we put his name down there. I think that's how you say his name. I think he was like some kind of philosopher or some such shit. But they wanted me to put this in here, so we're putting it in here. Hey, for all I know, one of my guides could have been Rumi. But anyways, before this body of yours, your pure soul, know yourself apart from your garment. Yeah. When I realized that, it was very eye-opening. Take a risk. If the outcome isn't what you expected, you're still experiencing and growing towards enlightenment. Embrace your destiny. Destiny. Sometimes I trip over words, guys. Sorry. And sometimes the wrong words fall out of my mouth even though I'm thinking the right word. Usually I catch those though. So far so good. Sometimes there isn't a second chance. So you'd better grab the first one and run with it. So, and I haven't forget about those 2 messages I told y'all about. It shows you the one from If I Had Married You. And I told you there was one left. There was one from Crazy for You. So this is gotta be it. And it is. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. And then we'll go through these lonely days and lonely nights. This is the top card. And there's no other card in the deck like this because all the other cards look like this. Lonely days, divine masculine energy. Lonely nights, divine feminine energy. Okay? So, I'm going to read this to you. Okay. Welcome, Twin Flames. This oracle deck was created for divine partners in separation. There are 76 messages, 38 from the divine masculine, lonely days, and 38 from the divine feminine, lonely nights. The identification makes it easier to draw targeted messages to suit your personal needs and inquiries. It is our hope that you will find peace on your journey through these cards. There is no booklet for this deck. The cards speak for themselves and were meant to be used intuitively and in conjunction with other tarot and oracle decks. Just do whatever feels right. Happy reading. And I'll set that right there. And the way this deck was designed, it's meant to allow the divine masculine and the divine feminine to talk to one another, carry on a conversation. I'm going to grab one more drink of water, guys. Sorry. And so, I'm just going to flip through the deck. And I have set the deck up the way it will come out of the box for you. Okay. So you can see the conversation potential. But this is the Lonely Days, which is divine masculine energy. And this again is for twin flames in separation. And there are 5 or 6 messages within these. They each have 38, and there are 5 or 6 that are the same. And then all the others, there are subtle differences. But this first one is one of those 5 or 6. I forget how many. I'll forever be haunted by what could have been. And she's going to say the same thing. going to say the same thing. Hang on. Let me put these down so I can. She's going to say the same thing. And you will also notice that there are little hearts down here in the corner. On the Divine Masculine, the heart is blue. The heart is blue. And on the Divine Feminine, the heart is pink. So we can keep track. We don't have to keep turning it over to see. And that's how we can keep track of who we're talking to and what we're dealing with. Okay, so let's move on now. Divine Masculine. I'm sorry I didn't come through for you. Divine Feminine. I'm sorry we missed out on so many things. Divine Masculine. Nobody has ever moved me the way you did. Trying to get the glare off that, guys. Divine Feminine. We were special. I wish you had seen that. Divine Masculine. You wanted something that I couldn't give you back then. Divine Feminine. You want something that I can't give you right now. Divine Masculine. I've fallen for every bit of you. Divine Feminine. It's always been you. Divine Masculine. I strive to be a better person because of you. And this is another one of those that are the same. So I'm just going to show them to you side by side. I strive to be a better person because of you. Divine Masculine. I don't know why I can't tell you that I love you. Divine Feminine. Maybe you can't tell, but I'm secretly heartbroken. Divine Masculine. My heart wants something that my head says I can't have. Divine Feminine. I know I gave you mixed messages, and I'm sorry. A bird just flew into my window, man. Shit. And look, y'all, it's not like my windows are clean either. Like he sure shit. Did y'all hear that? Thump. Did y'all hear that thump? I'm mad at myself for treating you the way I did. Poor guy. Hope he's alright. Divine Feminine. I want to forgive you. Divine Masculine. I feel your energy all around me. Divine Feminine. I feel like you kept secrets from me. Divine Masculine. Please forgive me. Divine Feminine. I forgive you. Divine Masculine. You're the only person I've ever been able to open up to. And for those Divine Masculine out there who aren't quite sure, that's a damn good way to tell You're talking to your divine feminine, somebody you can open up to. Okay, divine feminine. My emotions are in a free fall right now. Divine masculine. I'm living the consequences of my choices. And I'm just going to tell you guys that I got a dog over here whining. And we're going to let him outside, so we're going to cut this out of the video. Well, they weren't too noisy, so I'm going to try to continue on. I'm living the consequences of your choice. Because remember, he said, I'm living the consequences of my choices. She says, I'm living the consequences of your choices. Divine masculine. I can't find the right words to justify my actions. And she said the same thing. That's another one of those. Because, you know, as a divine feminine, I admit I made some mistakes. Yes, I have. And mistakes that I don't know how to justify, but it is what it is. Divine masculine, I'm sorry, but I have other responsibilities right now. And she says the same thing. I'm sorry, but I have other responsibilities right now. Divine masculine, there's not much I wouldn't give to spend one more night with you. Divine feminine, I wish I could spend one more day with you. I don't know if I can live up to the guy you think I am. I'm not the same girl I used to be. I wish I knew then what I know now. It's divine masculine. This is divine feminine. I know it wasn't meant to be, but that doesn't always stop me from wallowing in the misery of it all. Divine masculine. I had no idea what I was losing when I let you walk out the door. Oh, that one almost fell out of my hands. Somebody tried to knock that out of my hands. Divine feminine. I had no idea what I was losing when you let me walk out the door. If the shoe fits. Divine masculine. I wish I had been honest with you that time you poured your heart out to me. Divine feminine. I'm sorry it took me so long to be honest with you. Divine masculine. I tried to block my feelings for you by pretending like I didn't care. Divine feminine. I know you cared more than you let on. The divine feminine is so much more enlightened than you, divine masculine, I'm sorry to say. I hope your heart still flutters when you think of me, but that's just the way it is. I don't know why. My heart still flutters when I think of you. So he hopes it, and she said pretty much, yeah. My heart still flutters when I think of you. Divine masculine. The sound of your voice is the loudest thing in my head. Like that one to pop. Somebody's trying to knock these freaking cards out of my hands. Trying not to curse. I have no filters though, so if somebody keeps trying to knock these cards out of my hands, I'm gonna start cursing. I just know it, so stop it. Okay, he said, remember, he said, the sound of your voice is the loudest thing in my head. And she says, the silence between us is deafening. Divine Masculine. Every time I think about you, I always end up smiling. Now I'm sure you guys can hear them. They're crying to get back in. Like they've been out there, 5 minutes, and it's the end of the world. And it's not hot outside, it's cold here. She says, because he says, every time I think about you, I always end up smiling. Well, she says, sometimes when I think about you, my heart cries a little. So, yeah. He says, I'm sorry I didn't follow my heart. She says, too much has happened while we were traveling down our separate paths. He says, I'll always long for the life we could have had. And y'all don't get caught up in the pronouns I use. I'm a divine feminine personally, so that's why I use pronouns I do, but don't get caught up in them. If you're same sex and you can identify with this, then okie dokie. We're just talking about energies here. He says, I'll always long for the life we could have had. She says, I'll always long for the life we could have had. Same ones. He says, I miss you and your text messages. She says, daily I fight the urge to text you. He says, I wonder what you want from me now, if anything. She says, I want what could have been. He says, my mistakes are always front and center, where they haunt me daily. She says, our missed opportunity still haunts me. He says, I'm about as happy as I have a right to be. She says, I'll confess, I don't ever want you to forget what you cost us. He says, I'm glad I met you. She says, I'll never be sorry that we met. He says, your beauty still mesmerizes me. She says, been there, done that. Ain't doing it again. And look, just because this is her response to his, your beauty still mesmerizes me, don't take that as, if you pull this card out without this one, don't take it as a response to that. Because I pulled it out the other day where she was using it as a message to tell her divine masculine that she was not going to hurt him again. Yeah. And she says she's talking about the hurt, and she said, well, I've been there, done that, I ain't doing it again. And that's the way that my guides told me that I was spot on with, because when I'm right, they shut up. When I'm wrong or sort of wrong, there will be a lot of chatter in my head, because when I do read, I do tap into a group of like-minded souls. Okay, back to this. He says, sometimes I wish you weren't so honest. She says, I feel like you were always evasive with me. He says, I'm jealous of how happy someone else has made you. And she says, I don't want to watch you play house with someone else. And the Divine Feminine does tend to use this card when she doesn't believe the Divine Masculine. And she'll tend to throw this card out. Especially if he's not with someone. But she'll throw that out because she doesn't believe him, so it's her cue that she's done talking, is basically what it is. He says, you deserve to be swept off your feet. She says, why couldn't you be the one to sweep me off my feet? But that said, if you do pull that out, and she says she doesn't want to, if he is in a third party situation, then yeah, that's her spot on feelings. He says, what do I have to do to win your heart again? She says, can you turn back time? Might as well be a million miles away. I love you more than the distance between us, is what he says. She says, I didn't want to have this amazing couple of months with you and then it'll all be over. I wanted it to go the distance. And his final message, I write you love letters inside my dreams. It's both of their final messages. So, there we have it, guys. If you missed part 1, go check our channel because part 1 is there with these two. And just so you guys are aware, these 3 decks are $75 each. This one is $85. But that said, because you'll get purchase information in the description to contact Sara's Tarot, and if you mention Sandy's Library and the $10 off, because she's going to give you $10 off of each deck that you order, no matter how many decks you order. She's going to give you $10 off of each one if you mention Sandy's Library, and the $10 off per deck. So, you know, if you're interested in those, then awesome, go check them out. And remember, October 10th, we will begin uploading a free and timeless tarot reading every day. So, I hope you guys come back and check us out on Thursday, October 10th. Alright, so we'll see you later. Later, Gators.